Chalkboard XOR game. So we are given non-negative integer nums I, which are written on chalkboard. Two players are playing, and so we have to XOR the state of the game. If any player starts their turn with the bitwise XOR of all the elements of the chalkboard equals to 0, then that player wins. Okay, so if I am playing, I am starting the game, and if the value is already 0, then I am the winner. Okay. Anything else here? Then I will explain this problem in a bit detail. So 112. So let's look into this. First player is Alice. C has one choice, that C can erase 1 or 2 because there are two ones. So the only two values which C can erase is either 1 or 2. If C erases 1, the number becomes 1 and 2. XOR of 1 and 2 is not 0. So the game continues. So now Bob can remove any element. Suppose if he removes 2, then 1 will be left. So now Alice will be forced to remove 1, and now Bob's turn comes and there is no element. So by default, the XOR is 0 for no element, and then Bob wins. In the other case, Alice erases 2 first. If she erases 2 first, then 1 and 1 is left. And XOR of 1 and 1 is actually 0. So Bob again wins because the overall XOR is already 0. So C actually loses no matter what C does, basically. So we have to tell whether Alice can win this game or not, and we are given this value. All right. Any question on the problem?
Nope.
Okay, problem is pretty clear. What you thought about when you saw this problem, just from intuition side of thing? I'm trying to learn something from you guys, so that's why I'm asking.
Backtracking came to my mind because we have to go deep in the game and then return back and try out the other option.
Okay.
I'm not sure, not right.
So backtracking came to your mind. Okay, that is good. Anyone else wants to say anything? Our game state was 1-1-2, for example. There are two players. One is Alice, second is Bob. And the thing is, if 0 on my turn, then I win. So you need 0 to win. And the state is defined by XORing this thing. So let's call it X, and this, let's call it array. So XA is basically XOR of A. If this equal to 0, and if it is my turn, then I win. Something like this. Okay.
So one of the things that comes into my mind is XOR, and so it has to do with even number of elements and odd number of elements. That is one of the intuitions that I have in mind. Like
Nice.
if there are even number of same elements, then XOR is 0.
Yeah.
And if there's odd, that means the XOR will never be 0 if there are odd number of elements.
Okay. So today we are talking a lot about XOR. Like bot wants us to really learn some XOR. Anyway, let's do one thing. So what Puneet is talking about could be useful in multiple situations. So let me give this thing. Like you have 2, 3, 4. Most of you may already know, but I just want to reiterate it. 2, 4. Now, can someone just tell me what is the answer? 2 XOR 3 XOR 4 XOR 2 XOR 4.
It's 3, I think.
3.
Okay, it's 3. So you know about it. which is very good. That's what I think Puneet was also mentioning, that since 2 came in pair, 4 came in pair, no matter where they are in the overall places, they cancel themselves out. That's the property of the XOR, that you have same bits, so they totally cancel themselves. So that's why we have 3. So we know this property of XOR, and we want to solve this. Why? The first thing is, can we use DP or can we use backtracking or not for this problem?
Hey, Roger, you
But,
said 4 is in pair. What is the second 4? Am I missing in the equation?
sorry,
Oh, yeah. Okay. So it's in the next line. Fine.
sorry, yeah. It continued there, yeah. So can we use backtracking or any DP or any other thing like that? I mean, what was the challenge with that thinking is, you have this, like when we do addition or anything, like, many games, like they are called name games and other stuff, they have, like, you can get stuff from both the ends, things like that. There are some game theory questions, so couple of states which can result after changing that. Here, like, changing one bit is leading to too many possible states. And not only that, you can't even just go and pick stuff from the corners. You can pick from any place. So that is very, like, tough to get a like recurrence relation for that particular case. So that was the reason that you can start thinking, hey, can I do something better? Especially with XOR, you have to think, okay, which property of XOR we can apply to derive a solution or anything like that. So for some time, like, I will take just 1 minute break. Sorry about that. You guys can continue, and then let me be back, and then we will talk like how to solve this one. Please go ahead and continue.
Let me explain the DFS solution to that, which I actually tried, and it kind of gave the timeout exception.
Yeah, sure. Go ahead, Puneet.
Hey, Roger, can you stop the screen share?
Oh yeah, sure. Let me go.
Yeah. So the thing is, when I started the problem, let's take it 1, 1, 2, 2, and 3. So if you see, there are only 3 options that the person can choose. Either it can remove 1, 2, or 3. Now, if we look at the DFS, it will give rise to 3 situations. If we remove 1, the next situation will be 1, 2, 2, 3. If we remove 2, it will be 1, 1, 2, 3. And if we remove 3, it will be 1, 1, 2, 2. So the person who's playing cannot go this direction, right? Because it will result in even numbers and it will be XOR 0, right? So he can never go in this direction. He will never choose to go in this direction, right? Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And for the other 2 states, he can still go ahead and the next place, suppose here Alice plays, and then now here Bob has to play. The only condition Alice can lose is because of his own mistakes. He cannot lose because of Bob's mistakes. The only condition that he may lose at its own place is if he makes XOR equal to 0. Right? So for continuing the game, or at least not making sure that he loses at this stage, he just has to choose one element which does not make as XOR equal to 0. So definitely he cannot choose 3. But let's see if he can, choose any of them and go ahead, right? So if he can choose any one of them, he's passing his own stage at this place right now, right? So he has passed the, baton to Bob to play ahead, win or lose. Now at this stage, again, if we here Bob has option to either play 1 or 2 or 3. Now if we remove his plays 1, then the remaining is 2, 2, 3. If he plays 2, it's 1, 2, 3. And if he removes 3, it's 1, 2, 2. Right? And similarly here we go 1, 2, 3. 1, 1, 3 and 1, 1, 2. Now you'll see a lot of structures repeating here. 1, 2, 3 will repeat, and 1, 2, 2 and 1, 1, 2 will repeat. So now you'll ask how these two are related, right? So it doesn't matter the numbers are 1, 2, 2 or 2, 1, 1 or 3, 8, 8. If it's forming that same structure of X, Y, Y or Y, X, X, Y, at least there are two elements which are same and one is different, you'll always have the same result,
Yes.
right? Does this make sense? So if we find any one of those structures, at least for 3 digits, you find that structure X, 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 Y, and this is X, Y, Z. This is again X, Y, Y, or let's call it in the same structure, X, X, Y, X, Y, Z, same structure. So if you find the result for this structure or this one, you can reuse this here, same here, and same here, right? So this will give you a kind of optimization on how to, reduce your computation. You don't have to go beyond this one, but you can actually calculate once for this one and then use that against same structure here, here, and here. Same goes for this way. Now this was Bob's step, and next one will be Alice's step, right? Again. Now at each of the stage, you can check whether Bob is in the lowest level if there's only one, and if suppose Alice is playing that, he will lose it because he has only one option and its XOR will become 0. The remaining element will have XOR 0, right? So anyone who's having the single element will lose, right? So let's take this example 2, 2, 3 and try to build around it. So you'll have 2, 3 if you remove 2, and then if you remove 3, you have 2, 2, right? So this is not an option for anyone to play it. Now remaining 2, 3, you'll have 2 and you'll have 3. Now let's assume at this stage, Alice is the one who is playing. It can be anyone. Let's assume anyone player named A is playing, and he'll not be able to play 3. He'll play 2. Now the remaining is 2, 3. Here Bob will play, and then the rest everything is up to Alice, and he will lose in any condition, right?
Yes.
Now let's see one thing. When you're going up ahead, you will see the person who starts with this number of elements. So suppose he starts with even number of element. At every stage, he will always have even number of elements with him, right? Because if he is having, suppose here, Alice is having 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5 odd number of elements. He will remove one, it will become even, and that has to be played by Bob, right? And if he removes one, always odd number of elements will come to Alice.
Yes.
Right? Are these two, intuitions fine for now? I'll clear the screen for now.
Yes.
Okay. Now let's coming back to the original point. Now 1, 1, 1, 1. So these are even number of elements, right?
Yes.
And they are XORing to 0. Now, according to the game condition, if you start with the XOR equal to 0, you win the game. So in this case, Alice will always win the game.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
Let's go ahead and see the other condition. Now you have 1, 2, 3, and 4. Right?
Yeah.
Now there are 4 elements. As I said, there are even number of elements for Alice, right? Now, if Alice has to remove one of the elements, can you guess what will be the XOR after removing one element?
Non-zero.
Okay, that's non-zero. So, anytime your Alice is having even number of elements, he cannot. There's no possibility of he losing that gate in that step. Because if he removes any one of the elements, the XOR will become non-zero, even if the XOR of all the elements already is 0, right? Is that okay till now?
Yep.
Right. So let's assume we have 1, 1, 1, 1, which is starting point for Alice. Right? And Alice starts with even number of elements. There are two things. One is it's already XOR equal to 0. So that means he has won the game.
Hey,
Now the
Puneet,
other conditions, yeah,
uh, on the previous line, when you were asking that question, the XOR became non-zero for 2, 3, 4, right? Because one was removed. So,
yeah.
like, are you saying that for any?
I meant any one of them is removed, not one. Any one is
Yeah, yeah.
removed.
So are we saying that for any odd number of element, XOR will be zero, no matter what?
Any odd number of elements, XOR will never be 0.
XOR will never be zero.
Yeah,
So I just want to, like, make sure that I understand. So let's take some example.
yeah,
Like choose maybe zero, like choose 1 and 2, XOR them.
right.
Yeah. What is the value of 1 and 2 if you XOR it?
It will be 113.
Yeah. Can you write in a binary representation that will
Yeah.
help? Yeah. 0, 1, and then we are XORing. It's 1, 1. Okay. So yeah. Now, suppose if I am looking at adding one element to make it 0, can I XOR with 3 to make it 0?
Yes, you can.
I think we can, right?
My entire logic was based on this and it worked. I don't know why.
It's okay. I just want to understand, but I think using this logic, we can still figure things out. The only thing is, uh, we have to look at things at, like, bit level, and we can derive the same solution. So
But your logic will work, Puneet, I think, right? 1, 2, 3 is given. Alice removed anyone. Then Bob can remove anything. And Alice,
no, the thing is, Bob cannot remove anything, because if you, in this example, you removed
yeah,
4,
got it.
Now, if you
then
remove 4, you will have XOR will be 0 again.
yeah, so that will not work.
Yeah, got it.
Right.
Okay, so you want me to like,
Yeah, please go
go
ahead.
with, yeah, but yeah, I will work on the same approach, by the way.
Okay.
Okay, can you allow me to?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, okay, we have this state already. So
But Puneet, when you were mentioning, you also make a condition that the next JOR shouldn't be 0, right? And you
Right.
are deleting.
But
Yeah. So then in that case, we will omit out this step, right? Where we are deleting 4 because the next XOR will be 0. So we will not choose that step.
actually, I have to confuse
Not
okay,
sure. Yeah. Okay, go ahead, Roger.
now. Right, Roger.
yeah, let's try. So we have, like, this even number thing, that, so two things for Alice. Best case is she had this even number of elements, and if we XOR it, that becomes 0, she wins, right? That's not a problem. Now other thing could be XOR is not equal to 0. That's the second case, right? What we are saying, XOR of all these numbers n is not equal to 0.
Yeah.
Then can she do anything to make sure that next XOR is not equal to 0? So we are looking into her possibilities. What is the proposition here? That she can select some element X out of those n elements, so that if you XOR that with, so suppose XOR n equal to, give some value. Okay, let me erase a couple of things to make it easier. Best case work. Now what we are saying, that XOR of n is not equal to 0, and let's call it something s. Now, what we are saying, like Alice will select something called x. So that she can always select something x such that the next XOR without x doesn't become 0, right?
Yeah, XOR of n-1 numbers without x.
N minus 1,
Yeah.
where x is not there.
Yeah.
So isn't it like you choose a number which does not have the same XOR?
Yeah, that is how C can win. So now
Yeah.
everything is dependent on, can C find one x which can lead to that, right? If we are only, this is a, like, Boolean question. Can C do it or not? If we are saying C
Yeah.
cannot do it, no. Then what we are saying, that there is no such value, like all the values are equal basically, right?
Yes.
Like I can't select any value, that means, but then it was already even. So if you have equal values and even values, that will give you XOR already, no matter what value is that.
Yes.
So we are at least not equal. We are saying that x is like coming even number of times. If x is coming odd number of times, then you can always do that. But if x is coming even number of times, then C can just, okay, that was the, like, best case. Now C is leaving this guy with 3 situations where still XOR is not equal to 0. So this guy is not going to win no matter what he does, because we made sure that XOR is not 0 in the next, like, pickup. So he will pick any element. When he is picking any element, now we have the same question which we were trying to solve with n. Now we are trying to solve with n minus 2, and we already said n is even, so n minus 2 is even also.
Yeah.
So our question is becoming recursive. Now only we are solving a smaller set of that problem, and eventually you can always select something to make sure that other guy doesn't get that XOR will never become 0.
But do we have to traverse all these steps? Because in case we figure out a x where XOR n-1 is not 0, then Alice will always win. That's not the case.
No, actually, what the proposition at this point of time, you are not doing any traversal. It has turned into a math problem.
Yeah.
It's like if length of this array is even,
Yeah.
then C wins. That's it. That's one liner.
Length of array is even, then she will win only if she find that type of number, right? Or always?
Yeah, if
Because in last question 1, 2, 3, 4, she if remove 3, but she will optimize, right? So we have to check
yeah,
for this
C will,
condition. Yeah.
yeah, C
Yeah.
will not choose 4. I mean,
Yeah.
the idea is C
Yeah.
always has something to choose to
Yeah.
make sure that next guy doesn't win.
Yeah.
Actually, like, for more understanding, I would suggest you can get some, like, example, put it in, like, bitwise manner. And what will happen, since XOR is not 0, right? If XOR is not 0, you have too many values, suppose, and here is our overall XOR. There is at least one bit which will be 1. I don't care about others, but there is definitely one bit which is for sure 1, right, to begin with. Otherwise, Alice would have won. True? Like, even case we are saying. So what Alice is trying to do always, that she will try to make sure that she will always choose a value on that position which has 0 value there, or make it odd. She wants to make sure that this doesn't get destroyed, and she always has that option to do. She will make sure that if there is any one bit here, she will protect it. I will share an example which I drew. Maybe if you look at it, that will help you to understand that. But it's the same thing which Puneet was saying. The only thing is that no, we cannot choose anything at random, but we will always have a choice to choose something which will make sure that next set doesn't produce a XOR, which is 0.
So this is
Yeah,
for
it's-
even number. If any even number length is there of array, then she can win. That's what you're saying, right?
Yes. This
And
is your
if
code.
what about the odd?
Sorry, go ahead.
What about odd length? Like array length is odd number.
So if odd length is, if it is odd length, then it's the same thing for Bob. Now Bob can play the same trick. And since he's planning to win, he will always win. She can choose.
Uh,
Yeah. She will play the same trick with.
because when Alice plays, Bob will again have that situation of even numbers.
so Bob will always win in case of even odd number length
Yeah.
given.
Yeah.
Take example like 1, 2, 3.
Okay.
And if I remove any number from here,
So
I will
yeah.
always win.
Yes, that's the thing. Like if it is 1, 2, 3, that was the given input, right? Or maybe it was 1, 1, 2. So in that 1,
No,
1,
no. So if you have 1, 2, 3, you will lose. You choose whatever as the first. Bob will choose anything else, and you will choose the third one, which will put your result to 0, and you lose it.
yeah, I think he was intentioning. Maybe I heard wrong. Bob will always win with odd, right? Was that your question? But
Yeah, but in lead code actually it's returning true for 1, 2, 3.
1, 2, 3.
I mean Alice is winning.
for 1, 2, 3,
Expected is true.
are you sure?
I think so. Yeah.
Let's have this.
Right on. I have the window
Yeah.
open.
You have lead code open. Yeah.
No. But you forgot about that thing. If you have anything which directly XORs to 0, that is the first rule.
Okay.
Yes, yeah.
So this was directly XORing to 0. You don't
Yeah.
forget that one. That case is
Got
the
it.
first one step.
Got it. So if
That's
in
the
case
condition which
Yeah.
got me confused also when asked me that
so
question
this
about
is
Alice.
leading to XOR 0. So we should ignore these conditions because in these cases always Alice will win.
Yeah, because that was the base case of the problem, that if it is XOR, you don't have to do anything. You don't have to even play.
Yeah. Got it.
So I think we did 2 days back, we did that palindrome question, which was very number oriented. Yesterday I did that thing which was going like this way, right?
Spiral thing. Yeah.
Spiral. And today we did this one in the hard category. Somehow LeadBot is very easy about selecting
Maths oriented things.
math oriented question.
Either that or all the hard questions in lead code are math oriented. Most of them.
Yeah, most of them so hopefully this time we'll have some algo question next time, but let's see. Any question or
I don't think so. We have Sudoku solver tomorrow.
oh, we have Sudoku solver. Okay.
Yeah.
So actually, if there are no question, we'll stop recording and then we can hang in for some time if people are here.
Yeah.